Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. The people and the stories behind what makes Murfreesboro matter.
Where we get to know the people you need to know in and around the borough.
Welcome back to Locally Owned Murfreesboro. I'm here solo today, so give me a little grace. We got producer Trent in the mic on the back.
Hi there.
So he can fill in on any mishaps that I have, but we don't have mishaps because we just do our best at all times. So we're back and we have Leanne Malone here in studio. So Leanne, why don't you tell us what your business is? Because I'd rather you say it than me.
Yes, I'm the owner of Cover My Assets Insurance Group.
Okay. Cover My Assets. CYA. That sounds.
Yes, CMA. Yes.
Cover
My Assets.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah. You're right. I can't spell this morning. A little rusty. Okay, let me get my coffee. That might help. It's if this is going to be aired after the actual date that we're recording, but 4th of July was yesterday, so
that definitely happened.
I think a lot of us are kind of,
on the recovery train.
Yeah. I like the sound effect. So yeah, Cover My Assets. Tell us a little bit about, we'll get into why you started your business, but what is your tie to Murfreesboro?
Well, we actually moved here, excuse me, in 1997 when my son was about to be born. And so I've been here since then. I have my office in Smyrna. I'm in Murfreesboro all the time. So I basically consider the whole Rutherford County area my orbit.
Yes.
I work out in Murfreesboro. Most of my friends are here. So kind of 1 foot between both cities.
Is it like your city? Like you come to Murfreesboro to go to the city and then you go back home?
It is kind of that
versus
way. Yeah.
going to Nashville.
I work in Smyrna and then I pretty much live my life in Murfreesboro. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel that. I don't live in Murfreesboro anymore, but I used to. And now when I go to Murfreesboro, I'm like, oh, I'm going to see some faces I know and a coffee shop that I love and, the stores I like to go to because my town doesn't have many stores.
I play a game every time I go to dinner in Murfreesboro, and it's who am I going to see today?
Yeah.
And I have to see at least one person. It's kind of like my own bingo card.
Yeah.
And I do. Every single restaurant I go to, I'm like, oh, there's the person. And then I'm happy. I can eat my dinner.
That's awesome.
I love that. I think we need a Locally Owned Murfreesboro bingo card
That would
because
be awesome.
that would be so fun. I think
love that.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about your business. When I hear the name of your business, I'm thinking personal, business, and life. Do you do all of them?
Yes, we actually do. We specialize in health, Medicare, under 65 insurance, life insurance. Those are the things that we specialize in. We also do commercial. The thing that we don't do is home and auto. And we do that very specifically. I have the option to do that, but I prefer not to.
Yeah.
Because I would rather partner with local agents who do home and auto, but don't like health and life because frankly, it's gotten difficult since 2013. And so we have grown exponentially just by partnering with local agents and working together.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an important thing. And I like that you've identified ways to specialize in specific insurances instead of trying to say like, I do all of it. Because I think it allows you to, well, one, you've been able to grow, but then no, okay, well, that's not my specialty. Let me partner with someone else.
Well, I tell people I'm highly allergic to home and auto. I break out in boredom. My clients hear it constantly. I did it for a year when all the healthcare industry was changing back in 2010. September 23rd, 2010. That was the date the Affordable Care Act was passed. Asked me how I know. I could feel that my cheese was being moved. So I took on home and auto for a year. It was just not a good fit for me. It did not bring me joy. It did not make me happy. And I realized that it was better for me to do the things that I liked rather than struggle through something I didn't. And so that led me to partnering with people who love doing home and auto for whatever reason. Hey, I have it too. I have it with somebody else because I don't love it. They're great at it. And I want to be great at something
Right.
instead of just, all right, because I don't want an insurance agent who's okay at something. I want somebody
Yeah.
who's passionate about it and genuinely good at what they do. And I
Mhm.
love what I do because I get to help people every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you talked a little bit about struggles, and we like to talk to, small business owners. All of their struggles are kind of put on in a forum here in the podcast. So what would you say is your number one struggle as a business owner?
Our biggest struggle has been the changing healthcare system,
Mhm.
truthfully, for us. We train every year, we certify every year, but they change the rules every year. And last year, for example, we were ready, we were prepared, and they didn't drop the new rates and new programs until 3 days before we were supposed to sell them. And that's a bit much.
Yeah.
So trying to scramble and learn with Medicare, we do certifications, and so right now I'm in what I call my bitter period. I usually have a month where I'm pretty grouchy, and it's because I have to take one test through Medicare, and then I have to do each additional carrier. So it ends up being 12 or 13 tests for me.
Mm.
Not my favorite month.
And they're all different.
Every single one of them are both exactly the same until they're different, and then so you have to pay attention, and
Mhm.
if you don't pass it, you don't get to sell it. Well, that's my money, so I
Yeah.
pay attention, hence being grouchy. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I admit it, my clients know, but it's
Mhm.
for them, it's for their good because I don't believe in selling one carrier, one product because health insurance and Medicare is not one size fits all
Right.
at all. And so
Mhm.
for me to go at carrier X is what you need, that's only convenient for me.
Right.
And my favorite thing to say to people is if somebody tells you it's the best and they only offer one thing, ask them best for who.
That's a good that's a good comeback to that. And I mean, from a buyer's perspective, if I'm trying to get insurance, I want to go with someone who knows all my options,
Mhm.
not just one. I mean, and that can apply to anything,
Yeah.
really. It's like, are you gonna do the work? I mean, you've done the work, you're learning it, and each year you have to learn it again. Or
Mhm.
I mean, because honestly, like, how do we have time to read those new
No.
programs and understand what works for us? And like,
Ooh,
we're glad there's people like you
thank you.
who
Yeah.
enjoy it and brings joy to you.
I mean, there's 154 plan options. It's between 130 and 154 plan options per person. I give you three.
Wow.
It's a little better.
Yeah.
And then I can always give you 3 more, but I'd rather do that than
Mhm.
get phone calls from people who call me and they're frantic. They're just like, "I just tried to do this. I don't know what I'm doing." Or the ones I really hate, "I thought I could do this for you. Fix it."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can fix
exactly.
it for you, no problem. It just takes a little bit of time,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it. Like, I can look at it based on what you tell me, narrow it down, I got it, we're done,
Mhm.
and then we'll talk through why it's good for you, and as long as we agree, that's what we do. If it's not,
Mhm.
we'll talk some more. But, yeah,
Mhm.
it just makes it simpler.
Yeah, so, backing up a little bit, I mean, we didn't really talk about why you wanted to get into that. How long have you been, doing this?
I've been health licensed and life licensed since 2005, so
Okay.
this is year 18.
Nice.
Yeah, yep.
Congratulations. So what made you wanna start doing this stuff and offering it to people?
Actually, my ex-husband was in insurance and he did PNC. And in their agency as well, there was a big hole for people who did health. And so
Mhm.
he mentioned, "Well, do you want to get into this?" No, it's insurance. It seemed boring.
Yeah.
But I went in and I took the test and it made sense. Like I read the materials. I was like, man, this is like my language. I didn't know. And so I
Mhm.
took the test and I started out on my own.
Mhm.
And then now that I said ex-husband, so after that parted, I started a business on my own again, just doing life and health insurance.
Nice, nice. Cool, so that you got some years under your belt.
Yeah, more than a few.
And you did mention a lot, you really enjoy it. It brings joy to you.
Mhm.
And so we also like to talk about our biggest wins.
Yes.
What is something, and besides being in business for 18 years, what would be your biggest win?
Professionally or personally?
Could be anything related. You're a business owner,
I
and
mean,
they blend together.
they kind of do. Okay, so professionally, I just had a lady who called me. She found me on the healthcare.gov website and she said, "Your name sounded nice. I hope
Oh,
you're nice." I'm like, "I got you." 2 hours and 20 minutes later, we had her a plan picked out. She was moving from New York. She didn't know what she was doing. She was widowed. She wrote me a page and a half review. I need her to write my life story. It was so thorough. Like, I was so
Wow.
impressed. But she was so happy, and she
Yeah.
just didn't have to worry about it. Her sister's now using me. She's got
Nice.
another friend using me. So, like, professionally lately,
Mhm.
that was my biggest win. Personally, back on June 10th, I completed a 10-hour ultra marathon.
Wow.
So yeah, I had my knee replaced a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
So I'm not able to run anymore. Did not hurt my feelings, but I am able to walk. And so
Mhm.
I started at 8 p.m. that night, and I ended at 6 a.m. that next morning, and I
Wow.
completed it.
That's awesome.
And it was hard and difficult, and I was super proud of that. So that's a huge this year accomplishment.
Yeah, that's really cool. So tell me about the ultra marathon. Is just walking, or that's just
You
is that?
go. Yeah, it's this one is a half-mile closed horse track. And so it's timed because since I have to walk, I can't really like hit certain distance markers necessarily.
Yeah.
Which not my thing anyway. So this one is go as fast as you can, as far as you can, for as long as you can. And so there were people that were dropping out at 6 hours because they got done what they wanted, 5 hours, certain mileage markers. My only thing was don't quit.
Mhm.
And I really wanted to a few times because I was exhausted and
Yeah.
had blisters and whole lot
Wow.
of fun stuff. But I just kept going, you can do one more lap. And it was half mile. And I'm like, but then you can do one more lap. And then I
Maybe.
started the bargaining with myself and the watch. And I could get to this distance and this distance. And I actually got 2 miles farther than I thought I would. And
That's awesome.
yeah, I was
Wow,
really
that's
excited
cool.
about it.
I'm sure that translates into how you serve your people too, because you know that you can keep going when it
Yes.
gets tough.
Oh,
So
open enrollment chose that because I go from a normal business owner 9 months out of the year. Pre-enrollment starts October 1st. So what I call busy season, October 1st through December 31st is 7-day work weeks, usually 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
And I get Thanksgiving Day off and Christmas Day off.
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I'm my own boss, and I routinely say that my boss is a bitch. So yeah, 'cause she makes me work so hard.
Right.
And then people ask who she is. I'm like, me. I'm my boss.
It's a good, I mean, it's a good way to deflect if you are, so you don't own it. It's like, oh,
Right?
she's being.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, she won't give me time off. Who is it?
Me. Yeah. Who's this person?
Sorry.
It's good advice. I think I might take that. When I'm frustrated, I'm also my own boss.
Right.
I'm frustrated. I'm gonna deflect onto the boss
Yes.
role, not me. So I don't own it. And it's all good.
There you go.
It's good.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right. So when it comes to small businesses, a lot of times the trouble is, especially when you're starting out and you've been established for a while, is letting the public know about everything you do. What is one thing that you feel the public needs to know about what you do or about you that they don't know?
Wow. The main thing is that I don't think there is one right carrier for everybody.
Mhm.
I'm super passionate about that. I really am. I want to do the best thing for people.
Mhm.
I will advise people all the time, whether or not I make money on it.
Mhm.
I will talk to relatives. I can't tell you how many people will sit in front of me with, like federal insurance, for example. And I'm like, if anyone ever tells you to give it up, I need you to know they're trying to make money on you. Don't ever give it up.
Mhm.
And then they always look at me like, well, how do you make money? I said, so I need you to go tell all your friends I didn't try and sell you something because I didn't need to. It wasn't good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I try and always do the right thing for the right reason because I feel
Mhm.
like that always pays off in the end for me and for my clients.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll come back to you if you try to sell something someone doesn't need.
Exactly.
And then you hold on to that. Trent, do you have anything specific to? No, you're good. Okay. He's like, oh yes.
It's insurance. Oh no.
No, I mean, I think the lessons you can learn from someone who's been in business for a long time is you can't measure that. You just got to talk to the people that have been in business for a long time and learn. I mean, that nugget about complaining about your boss, I'm like, same with you. I'm sure.
That hit home.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm like, okay, I don't like my boss. Oh yeah, my
oh,
boss
that's
is
mean.
mean.
Yeah.
Shucks.
It does make it easier when you can blame it on somebody
Yeah.
else, even if that somebody else is you.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's like, okay, I'm in my employee brain, or I'm in my boss brain right now, and don't
Exactly.
own both. I
No.
think that's how you can navigate through the tough time of owning a business, but also rewarding. So speaking of owning a business, Cultivate Co-working is a place where you can go and have meetings and set it up. So we're going to hear from our sponsor right now. Okay. Thank you, Cultivate Co-working. Cultivate Co-working also sponsors our This or That segment. Thank you, Black Sheep. The choice is yours.
The choice is yours.
So this is our This or That segment. We're going to ask you 4 rapid fire questions. You just answer how you want, and we'll get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
So first one is music playlist or podcast?
Oh, music playlist.
Oh, darn it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Honestly.
Next one, shoes or slippers?
Shoes.
Okay. And the swimming pool or beach?
Beach.
Nice.
What about you?
Beach.
Yeah. Both for me.
Yeah, I'll take both.
And last one, fruits or vegetables?
Fruit.
Same.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm a both person.
Both.
I can't choose. Well, thank you. Thank you, Cultivate Co-working, for our This or That segment. And now it's time for the Be Present Nugget of Wisdom. This is long time coming. I have not recorded for a month, but I've had this one ready to share. This one's from Earl Nightingale. Our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitudes and expectations.
Ooh, that's good.
Nice.
That's real good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think there's a lot of testament to say when you are a business owner and how you can control your attitudes and your expectations. Sometimes they lead to the best business or the worst day of your life
That's
in
true.
business. So I've definitely gone through that the last couple of weeks. So it was nice to hear that or be reminded of it. So yeah. So Leanne, thank you for joining us. If people want to get in touch with you, how do they get connected with you?
Well, our website, covermyassets.com, ASSETS.com. There's always that dropped S in there, it seems like.
Mhm.
Our phone number, 615-345-0411.
Nice.
Love it. Well,
All
appreciate
right,
you.
great.
That was great, Leanne.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time on Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.